Yo, Bachi 2007 back at you with another one. We want to take a minute to talk about this guy, or to start off with talking about this guy named Phillip Schofield, who is a mainstay on British television. Let's play this report about his scandal from the BBC, and then we'll get into some more.
The presenter Phillip Schofield, he's a British TV presenter, has resigned from ITV after acknowledging that he had an affair with a younger male colleague at this morning. He has stepped down from presenting the British Soap Awards. In a statement, Mr. Schofield said he had lied about the relationship to ITV as well as his agents, lawyers and family. He said the relationship was, quote, unwise but not illegal.
All right, so that's his co-host from this morning, the show that he's been on for some 20 years, but that's not his wife. Now, the thing about this guy is he was married for many years, and then about I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, he got divorced, and then 3 years ago came out and said that he's gay. And this young person who's having this affair with is somebody who works on the show now, who I believe is in their very early 20s, and he may have started this relationship with him while he was a teenager, even though it's alleged that at least the initial contact started when this guy was a teenager. But this goes to an issue that we hear about and we heard about with the uh, Me Too movement, where women talk about the power dynamic, and even if you didn't force the woman, you're still a monster if you date someone who you have a power dynamic over, where you're a powerful position, such as Schofield was, and this is a low level, entry level employee, young person who doesn't have power in the equal power in the dynamics of the relationship. Now, the thing about this guy is, I watched a program this morning show in the past, and he's had men on there who were giving their standards for women, and he's one of those guys, one of those manginas, who jumps up in white nights and talks about who hurt you. He's one of those guys who throws that who hurt you at men and takes up women's side of things, no matter what the circumstance is. The men are always wrong, and the women are pure, uh, innocent, put upon women who are being done wrong somehow by horrible men, because men are always wrong in the gynocentric society, and the gynocery women are always right and are always victimized. We saw that here again on this other video from the same, or for another show, Good Morning Britain with Pierce Morgan, where he white knights against this guy, this white passport bro, who says Russian women are just better than British women. They're more fit, they're more cooperative, they're more beautiful, they're more feminine. And he went there to get himself a wife. And we'll see this play out over and over again with many different men. And we'll find that the men who take this position, time and time again, the type of men who go against other men, are men who have serious problems with how they deal with women, or what their situations are in relationship to men. Before we talk more about that, I'm going to ask you to please like this video up. Help me move through the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. And with that, we can get right back to the program, but definitely hit that like button. Now, with men who often go against other men who white knight for women, there is some agenda with those men, or problems that they have themselves. With this guy, we have, oh, not that video. With this guy, we have a guy who white knights for the gynocery, for the gynocentric society, by trying to shame other men, but he identifies more with women. He sees himself in the feminine and represents the feminine. So of course, men are wrong, and women are all good. And also, as I said with the Pierce Morgan video, which might I recorded it before this one, but it might not show up on the channel. So after this one, his audience is women, so he has a reason to pander for them. But likewise, Steve Harvey makes all of his money off of pandering to women. He wrote his silly little book. What is it called? Think Like a Man but Act Like a Lady or something like that, and got the movie made from it. And he makes a lot of money from trying to teach women how to manipulate men. And that's what you'll see when you ever watched his now canceled talk show or any of his specials. It was all about getting women to see how they could manipulate men into doing what they want. Not how the women could come up to standard to meet men's standards and be attractive to men and be of value to men, but how they could manipulate men into uh, falling for them and taking them as they are, kind of thing. And we saw him on Shannon Sharp recently say, "Oh, these men are here wanting women to bring something to the table. You don't got to bring nothing to the table because she can make another one of you." So what he's basically saying, all women have to do is show up and exist, and men are supposed to take care of them and do everything for them, no matter whether or not they add any value to that man's life, and no matter what their attitude is, no matter whether what their detracting factors are. That's all irrelevant because uh, they can make another you, which no, they can't. Men men provide the genetic material to make another human being, and really it's God who creates people. So y'all trying to take credit for what God did. But either way, women don't give men children. Men give women the children. Women then carry those children to term. But we can see here that Steve Harvey doesn't provide for his woman because his woman is not Marjorie. His woman is Marcia. And this is his family, which he left and abandoned to go get with Marjorie. He did not take care of his family. According to the information out here, he abandoned his family to go get his rocks off and left his wife, the woman he's supposed to be taking care of, a single mother, to have to then go try to fight to get a man to take her and her children on as deficits. So I guess, of course, he's okay with women bringing deficits to the table because he creates women with deficits who have to go and try to fend for themselves because of him. Again, the type of men who go at other men, who try to denigrate men to accept anything and try to shame men, often have problems. And he's now created the young lady. What is her name? He's now created the queen thought modern woman of Hollywood, who's going around collecting men and collecting bodies. Lori Harvey, and is just using men because they took her without vetting her to recognize what she is and what she's all about. And Michael B. Jordan got to experience what that's all about. And then you have Steven Jackson, whose wife has revealed that he was cheating on her from day one before they were married. And she's no victim. She's a part of everything. She's a part of knowing who he was, knowing how he gets down from day one, and she is a part of the scam against women. Derrick Jaxn's whole persona is a 100% scam. Before he even left his wife, or as soon as he left his wife, the first thing he did is went public with an IG model, with an IG pass around type chick. No standards, and it wasn't just that he was getting with women that he wanted to fulfill his male desires with. That was always a given, and that's what a lot of fellows are going to do and how we're going to live. But the issue is that he is taking this low rent woman who has no real value to a man with anything, who's just a pass around, and he was cuffing this chick and posting her up on his social media while he has a wife, while he's preaching at other men about how they should treat women and talking down about other men and telling women that they can do better than these dusties out here when he's as dusty as you get, cuffing a low rent pass around IG thought and posting her up on his socials while his whole time in his marriage, he's sleeping with everything moving. These are the kind of men who come at men who are on this square. And so what you need to understand that these two were together were running the scam the whole time anyway. It, the whole she knew what he was presenting out there to women was a complete lie, and she was in on it for the money as much as he is. She's no victim. We don't feel sorry for her, but what we always need to recognize is all these type of men who go against the men, who try to down talk men, try to make passport bros or any men who require standards out of women, who don't want to accept multiple babies' daddies, or in some cases, you don't want to accept any children with a woman, any children that are not yours. These men who try to shame you are men with an agenda. They have some kind of agenda where they are anti male themselves, where they don't practice what they preach and are not the man they're telling you that you should be, or they identify with the feminine because they are on that side of the ledger. So, what you need to not do is ever question your determination to stay in your masculine frame, to demand women live up to standards who you're going to bring in your life, and to follow your path. Stay on your purpose, men, and achieve what you need to achieve. And don't accept women out here any kind of way. Don't feel shamed, neither by women nor by other men who are trying to clown you and trying to tell you how to be a man, because none of them are being the man that they claim. They're being with men, or they're being with a bunch of women behind their wife's back and dumping their families to do whatever they want to do. So don't ever succumb to thinking you're in the wrong. Hey, maybe I'm not following the right path. Maybe I'm crazy. You're not. Stay on your purpose. Continue to demand standards out of these women, men, and let's keep it going and stay in our square, being the men that we have chosen to be. Yo, about your 2007. I'm out.